He thought meeting his canine partner would be the proudest moment of his career. But when the rookie officer stood face to face with the German Shepherd, the dog's reaction stunned the entire station. What happened next revealed a secret no one saw coming and left every officer in shock. Today was his first official day on duty, and every button he fastened seemed to carry the weight of expectation. He had dreamed of this moment for years, the chance to serve, to protect, and to prove himself worthy of the badge. Veteran officers moved with practiced ease, their eyes sharp, their steps confident. Daniel, in contrast, felt like a boy stepping into a world built for giants. Still, he straightened his shoulders and forced a steady smile. Then came the assignment that made his heart race. He wasn't just joining the patrol unit. He was being placed in the elite K9 division. Every rookie dreamed of it, but few were chosen. His partner would not be another officer, but a highly trained German Shepherd whose loyalty and instincts had saved lives. That Daniel's nerves twisted into excitement. He thought this was the beginning of a perfect partnership. Little did he know, the first meeting would shock everyone in the station. The air grew cooler as Daniel stepped into the long hallway of the K9 unit. The scent of disinfectant mixed with the musk of restless dogs, their eyes following every movement. Veteran officers watched from a distance, their expressions unreadable. One of them gestured toward the last kennel at the far end. "That's yours," he said simply, his tone carrying both respect and warning. Daniel's heart pounded louder with each step, his palms slick with sweat despite the chill in the room. Inside the kennel, a powerful German Shepherd stood tall, muscles rippling beneath its dark coat. Its amber eyes locked onto him instantly, sharp, calculating, unblinking. Daniel felt the weight of that stare, as if the dog wasn't just sizing him up, but peering straight into his soul. He swallowed hard, unaware that this first meeting was about to take a startling turn. Daniel crouched slightly, just as he'd been taught during training, keeping his movements calm and non-threatening. "Hey, buddy," he whispered, his voice soft but steady. He extended a cautious hand toward the bars, expecting the Shepherd to sniff, maybe even wag its tail. Instead, the dog's body stiffened. A deep growl rumbled from its chest, vibrating through the kennel walls. Its lips curled back, revealing sharp teeth, and in a flash, the Shepherd lunged forward, slamming against the metal with such force that Daniel stumbled back in shock. The hallway erupted with noise. Dogs in nearby kennels barked wildly. Officers rushed forward, and commands echoed sharply. "Hold him back," one shouted, though the Shepherd's fury seemed unstoppable. Its eyes never left Daniel, burning with an intensity that made even the seasoned handlers uneasy. Daniel's chest tightened. This wasn't the calm, disciplined partner he had imagined. This was raw hostility, directed solely at him. Around him, the station fell silent, disbelief painted across every face. No one had ever seen the dog react like this before. Silence hung heavy after the outburst, broken only by the echo of the Shepherd's growls reverberating down the hallway. Officers exchanged uneasy glances, some shaking their heads, others whispering under their breath. To them, this wasn't just unusual, it was alarming. "Never seen him act like that," one veteran muttered, his eyes narrowing at Daniel. Another officer folded his arms, his voice carrying a sharp edge. "Maybe the rookie isn't cut out for this unit." The words stung, slicing through Daniel's pride like glass. He forced himself to stand tall, but the unease in his chest only grew heavier. The Shepherd was eventually restrained, pulled back into its kennel, but its eyes never left Daniel. They glared through the bars with a strange mix of fury and recognition. The rookie felt it deep in his gut, like the dog knew something no one else did. Daniel clenched his fists, his determination battling his doubt. He had dreamed of this moment his entire life. But now, the entire station questioned if he belonged. The following day, Daniel returned to the kennels despite the whispers that trailed behind him. He refused to let fear or doubt dictate his first assignment. As he approached, the German Shepherd stirred instantly, ears pricking, body tense. The low growl returned, but this time, there was something different: hesitation. Daniel stopped a few feet away, careful not to provoke. "I don't know why you hate me," he murmured, his voice low, meant only for the dog. "But I'm not going anywhere." His words hung in the air, firm yet steady. For a moment, The shepherd's growl broke into silence. Its amber eyes locked onto his with fierce intensity. Hours turned into days, and though the hostility remained, small cracks began to show. When other officers walked by, the dog snarled and snapped. But when Daniel lingered near the bars, the shepherd's bark faltered, shifting into a restless whine. At night, the rookie noticed it pacing, eyes following him as though tethered by an invisible thread. It wasn't trust. Not yet. But beneath the fury, there was recognition. Something in the shepherd's gaze suggested their connection. Ran deeper than a simple assignment that a stage training drill was. Announced, a simulation designed to test both rookies and their partners under pressure. Daniel's stomach knotted as he was assigned alongside the very shepherd that had nearly lunged at him days earlier. Handlers clipped the leash firmly, exchanging doubtful glances. "Stay sharp," one warned. Daniel gave a silent nod, though his pulse hammered in his ears. As the drill began, officers moved through a mock search zone filled with bags, crates, and planted distractions that first, the shepherd pulled wildly, barking at shadows. But then, without warning, it froze, nose pressed to a container no one else had noticed. Daniel steadied the leash, his instincts telling him to trust the dog. When the container was opened, hidden contraband was revealed, shocking the observing officers. The station fell quiet. Against every doubt, the rookie and his unpredictable partner had just passed their first test. Together, later that evening, Daniel was called into the captain's office. The German shepherd sat quietly outside, unusually calm, its amber eyes still tracking his every move. Inside, the room felt heavy with silence until the captain slid a folder across the desk. "You deserve to know the truth," he said. Daniel opened it carefully. Inside were service records, photographs, and reports. His breath caught as he realized the shepherd wasn't just any K9. It had belonged to his late brother, Officer Ryan. Years ago, Ryan had trained and served with the dog until tragedy struck during a dangerous raid. Since then, the shepherd had refused every new partner, snarling, biting, and rejecting anyone who tried. The outburst in the kennels now made sense. The dog hadn't been reacting to a stranger. It had recognized something familiar in Daniel. His scent, his voice, even the resemblance to his brother had ripped open old wounds. Daniel closed the file, his chest tight with emotion. Outside, the shepherd let out a low whine, pressing its head against the door as though waiting. The bond they thought impossible had been written long before Daniel ever wore the uniform. The next morning, Daniel approached the kennel with a steady breath. This time, the shepherd didn't growl or lunge. Instead, it pressed forward, tail swaying cautiously, eyes searching his face for something it already knew. Daniel knelt, opening the gate slowly. The dog stepped out, powerful yet calm, and placed its head firmly against his chest. For the first time, the station wasn't filled with barks or gasps. It was filled with silence, thick with emotion. Veteran officers looked on, their skepticism melting into awe. The rookie had done what none of them could. He had awakened trust in a broken partner. From that day forward, Daniel and the shepherd weren't just partners, they were family.